A lovely good evening and welcome to Camnet TV main news today, the 18th of August in the year 2026. Let's now take a look at the news headlines. HH thanks voters and pledges to continue saving all Zambians. MWANAJITI urges restraint in post-election law enforcement. NRPUP to challenge 2026 election outcome through legal channels. In international news, Russia and Ghana discuss trade and recruitment of citizens for Ukraine war. In sports news, Cameroon women celebrate WAFCON title during victory parade. Join us for these and many more stories after the break.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Camnet TV main news now showing on Topstar Channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the CanStream app. With the main news in detail, I'm Tapelo Joe Smata. President-elect Hakainde Hichilema has thanked millions of Zambians for renewing his mandate, saying the election has demonstrated the strength and maturity of the country's democracy. Speaking after his victory, Mr. Hichilema said Zambians had exercised their democratic right to choose the leaders they wanted to serve them. Mr. Hichilema said the outcome reflected people's clear direction and called on leaders to respect the decision of the electorate. He also praised the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, and other stakeholders for managing what he described as a complex election. The president-elect also pointed to his administration's free education policy as one of its major achievements since taking office in 2021. He said the policy had opened opportunities for children and adults who had previously been unable to complete their education because of difficult circumstances. Mr. Hichilema described education as one of the country's most important investments, saying it could reduce inequality and create opportunities for future generations.
Exercise your right to vote, to choose a leader you believe who will serve you to the best of your needs. So we say to all of you, you're equal citizens. Those who voted for us, those who didn't, you're equal citizens. There's no discriminatory understanding of who voted and they are favored. Those who didn't vote for us, they are not favored. The process allows us to elect leaders, yes, but once a leader is elected, you serve all of the people's Zambia fairly, equitably. And that's what we demonstrated that we're able to do after the 2021 elections. We delivered free education to all our citizens across board without choice or segregation. We have delivered CDF to build new classrooms, desks, water and sanitation, more teachers to help improve the pupil-teacher ratio, lower that, contrary to what it used to be years back, when a teacher may have to sell 150 pupils. Now the number is getting less and less as we continue to employ more teachers so that we can further improve the quality of education for all our children. But the most important thing is that our children have access to education, which they could not before. Many of our children were out of school. How do we know that? Once we introduced the free education policy, following our promises before 2021, we saw incrementally up to 2.6 million children have come back to school, including those who were elderly and could not complete their school for whatever reasons, but the circumstances did not allow. Some could have been financial, some could have been maybe a girl child got pregnant at grade 9 or so, but we have allowed, our policy has allowed any citizen to return to school, young, middle-aged, or whatever age. This is important.
Human rights and democracy specialist MWANAJITI has called for restraint and proportionality in law enforcement following Zambia's general elections, warning that the rule of law must continue to guide state action after the polls. In a statement issued today to Camnet News, Mr. MWANAJITI said the elections had allowed the majority of citizens to experience peace and exercise their democratic choice. He said the country should now focus on preserving stability, peace and unity while ensuring that people who did not participate in the electoral process were not excluded from the broader national conversation. Mr. MWANAJITI said Zambians remained united around the fundamental principle of the rule of law, which he described as a matter of duty and responsibility. He also called on the relevant government institutions to address criminal conduct associated with the electoral process, but cautioned against victimizing individuals. Mr. MWANAJITI said the government has significant work to do to address issues arising from the elections, but stressed that the law should be applied fairly. He said participation in a national undertaking such as an election did not suspend the law or place individuals beyond its reach.
The Zambian elections, which saw the majority of citizens experience peace and choice, has come and gone. There is no doubt at all that stability, peace and unity informed the majority of voters. We must not leave those who did not participate outside the matrix of community experience. It is important that we remind ourselves that Zambians are agreed on the fundamentals of the rule of law. This flows from the fact of duty and responsibility. It is our considered view that nobody should hide criminal intentions and actions in the electoral process. There is just too much that must be cleaned up by the relevant wings of government without victimization. No right is absolute, and at no time is the law suspended because of a national undertaking such as elections. Law enforcement must follow agreed principles of proportionality.
Opposition National Restoration Party for Unity and Prosperity President Brian Mundubile says his party will pursue every available legal avenue to challenge the outcome of Zambia's 2026 presidential election. Mr. Mundubile said NRPUP would submit evidence of alleged electoral irregularities to the relevant legal bodies within the prescribed timeframe. He said the party had documented concerns relating to the security of ballot papers, the handling and transportation of electoral materials, and discrepancies between votes recorded at polling stations and the results announced. Mr. Mundubile said the party would rely on the evidence it had gathered rather than resorting to protests or other forms of confrontation. He called for the electoral dispute resolution process to provide a transparent and lawful mechanism for addressing the party's concerns. Mr. Mundubile's position comes after the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, declared the presidential election results, with NRPUP rejecting the outcome and raising concerns over the conduct and management of the electoral process. NRPUP has maintained that its concerns should be subjected to legal scrutiny and that the relevant election records should be preserved to allow for verification. The party's planned legal challenge could place the handling of electoral materials and the accuracy of the announced results at the center of the dispute. Meanwhile, the Tonse Pamozi Alliance has called for calm and restraint as it awaits guidance in the constitutional process following Zambia's 2026 general election. Alliance Secretary General Celestine Mukandila urged supporters, including presidential candidates Brian Mondubile and his running mate Makebi Zulu, to maintain peace and avoid actions that could undermine national stability. Mr. Mukandila said Zambia had just gone through one of the most rigorous and consequential elections in its history. He said political differences should not threaten Zambia's unity, describing the country as a multi-party, indivisible and unitary democratic state. He urged citizens and political leaders to put the interests of Zambia above partisan considerations and ensure their conduct promotes peace, stability and national unity. Mr. Mukandila also called on President Hakainde Hichilema to exercise patriotism, humility and tolerance in discharging what he described as the collective responsibility to the nation. He said political leaders should use dialogue rather than confrontation to resolve disagreements arising from the election. The alliance said it would await further guidance and pursue the appropriate constitutional processes without disclosing further details of its next steps. Still in political news, the United Party for National Development, UPND, says President Hakainde Hichilema's re-election represents a victory for Zambia and will allow the government to continue implementing its development agenda. UPND Deputy Secretary General Gertrude Imenda thanked Zambians for giving President Hichilema another mandate, saying the result should not be viewed as a victory for the governing party alone. Ms. Imenda said continuity in government was important for delivering long-term development programs, warning that changing leadership midway could disrupt progress. She said the election outcome should therefore be seen as a mandate for the government to continue working on its development plans while serving all Zambians. Meanwhile, UPND National Chairman Collins Maoma commended voters for participating in the electoral process and helping to safeguard Zambia's democracy. Mr. Maoma said the Zambian people and democracy were the ultimate winners of the election. He urged citizens to maintain peace and unity regardless of their political affiliations or the outcome of the election. Mr. Maoma said the end of the election campaign should mark the beginning of a period of national cooperation as Zambia moves forward. The UPND has also called on its supporters to remain peaceful and focus on rebuilding national unity following the conclusion of the electoral process. UPND National Youth Chairman Gilbert Liswaniso has urged opposition parties to accept the outcome of the 2026 general elections and shift their attention to issues affecting Zambians. Mr. Liswaniso also said opposition parties had the right to challenge the results through legal channels if they believed the election was not conducted properly, but urged them to avoid prolonging political divisions. He said the focus should now move from campaigns to addressing the challenges facing citizens. He said any party dissatisfied with the election outcome could petition the results through the courts, describing the process as part of a democratic system. Mr. Liswaniso said the governing UPND had campaigned with confidence and prepared its supporters for the possibility of victory, adding that the election had now ended. He acknowledged that some opposition leaders and their supporters were unhappy with the results, but said political competition should not prevent the country from moving forward.
We only have Zambia, one country, all of us we are one people. Politics is a game of ideas. Who would want to urge the people of Zambia, all political parties, that the game has gone, politics has gone, the focus now is to develop this country. The focus of the opposition now is to do checks and balances. That's what we want from them. Yes, when in a game, you may petition, you may not agree, but the life has to continue at the end of the day. The fact of the matter, we have won this game very well because of the structure on the ground, and we emphasize, and I'm the one of the people who made the opposition to prepare their mind to say that you are not winning this election. So their role, they know it. Their role is to do checks and balances. If they are not happy with the result, they've got the constitutional right to petition. But I'll tell you that as we are moving now, is to focus on the suffering of the people of Zambia now. I just want to urge the young people of UPND, all political parties, that we are one. No violence, no pushing one another. Let's focus on developing this country. That is my message. Message of peace, message of reconciliation. That's what we need to see as a nation, especially when we, the young people, we are in charge of this country. We are the majority. We shouldn't destroy this country, but should focus now on developing this country and asking our leaders, those in opposition, those in government, to implement the will and all the needs of the people of Zambia. And that is our responsibility.
And that particular story takes us to our first set of commercials, but do join us for more news when we come back. Stay tuned.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Welcome back and thank you so much for still joining us on the Camnet News Desk. The main news continues. Thomas Palo has won the Munali parliamentary seat on the UPND ticket, calling on residents to put political divisions aside and focus on development. In his victory statement, Mr. Spalo declared Mulungu Pasogolo and said the end of the campaign period marked the beginning of a new phase focused on serving all residents of the constituency. Mr. Spalo thanked God for his victory and praised President Hakainde Hichilema for what he described as his unwavering support and leadership. He also congratulated Mr. Hichilema for his re-election for a second term. The new MP thanked his campaign team, led by Patrick Samwimbila, as well as constituency, ward and branch officials and the Tikosesa team for their efforts during the campaign. But Mr. Spalo said his victory belonged to the entire constituency, including voters who supported other candidates. Mr. Spalo also extended an invitation to his former opponents, including Crispin Chinda, Obi Chomba, Chimbalanga Semba, and Mvunga Agaton, urging them to work together for the constituency.
I'm 100% Nalian, and the only promise that I can give the people of Nali is development. The development that we've been lacking is here. I've been pushing to represent the people of Munali. I'm going there to represent each and every person from Munali. And I'd like to thank all the guys that participated in this race. Please, let's come together, let's work together so that we can develop Munali. Because our game plan is more development and less politics. So let's not politicize everything. Let's put development ahead. We are behind. We need to catch up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the people of Nali. Thank you very much, Mr. President, Dr. Hakainde Hichilema, for trusting me with the adoption. I would like to thank the party leadership, Mr. Chikuwai, my chairman, my campaign manager, Mr. Patrick Samwimbira. Thank you very much. I owe you. Pampoto, Shadrach, Ndakuona. Yes, Ndakuona. I would like to thank you. The Tingo Sesa team, I said Namba Kudala, let's continue. To the people of Munali, I would like to tell you to say development is here. Oh,
your message. Your message.
Those candidates that have lost, please. What the ideas that you had for you to stand is to bring development to Munali. I would like to invite you. Let's sit down. And actually, I'm going to call them from here. I call them so that we can have a meeting on how we can develop Munali together.
They must give him respect.
There is always one winner.
Imanga Wamunyima Jr. has been elected Member of Parliament for Nalolo constituency, while Patricia Shishau has won the position of Nalolo District Council Chairperson. The two leaders will take charge of representing residents at parliamentary and local government levels, with their election placing development and service delivery among their key responsibilities. Mr. Wamunyima will represent Nalolo constituency in Parliament, while Shishau will lead the District Council as chairperson. The election marks a new political leadership for Nalolo as the district begins the next phase of its development agenda. The new leaders are expected to work with government institutions, traditional leaders and communities to address local priorities and improve services across the constituency and district. The results come after Zambia's 2026 general elections, which saw voters elect leaders at national and local government levels. The Chinese Chamber of Commerce in Zambia, CCZ, has congratulated President Hakainde Hichilema on his re-election, pledging to strengthen trade, investment and business cooperation between Zambia and China. In a statement issued today, CCZ President Lee Tai said the chamber welcomed Mr. Hichilema's re-election and his message of unity, inclusiveness and shared prosperity. The chamber said the election had demonstrated Zambians' commitment to peace, democracy, the rule of law and national development. CCZ said it expected Zambia to make further progress in national unity, economic growth and under Mr. Hichilema's continued leadership. The business group also reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening ties between the Zambian and Chinese business communities. It said it would continue to facilitate investment and trade, create employment opportunities, and contribute to Zambia's social, economic, and what it described as China-Zambia all-weather friendship. Mr. Lee wished Mr. Hichilema success during his new term and called for lasting peace, unity and prosperity in Zambia. The Zambia Union of Professional Educators (ZUPID) has congratulated President-elect Mr. Hakainde Hichilema and Vice President-elect Mutalena Lumango on their re-election for a second term.
This is Mo Kasveta, General Secretary for Zambia Union of Professional Educators, ZUPED. On behalf of Zambia Union of Professional Educators National Executive Committee, all the structures and the general membership countrywide, I wish to congratulate our Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, for his landslide re-election for his second term, wishing him God's guidance and favor.
We now go for our final set of commercials, but do join us for international and sports news when we come back. Do stay tuned.
Did you know that you've got the right to complain against any radio or television broadcast? Did you also know that every radio or television station has an obligation to respond and address your complaints when aggrieved? The first step is to complain to the station not more than 3 months after the broadcast took place. It is expected that the station will respond reasonably to you, that is within 14 days. If not satisfied, then escalate your problem to the Independent Broadcasting Authority.
We're at Mass Media Complex, Ali King Carter Road,
PO Box 32475, Lusaka, or call us on +260 211 250589 or visit our website at www.iba.org.zm.
IBA, promoting ethical and professional broadcasting.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodland, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. And now in international news. Russia and Ghana discussed bilateral ties, trade and investment on Monday during a meeting between Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and Ghanaian Foreign Minister Samuel Ablakwa in Moscow. The talks also covered the situation in Africa, including ongoing crises on the continent. Mr. Ablakwa said Ghana was seeing an increase in trade with Russia, as well as a diversification beyond traditional exports. The two ministers also held a joint news conference. Mr. Lavrov said Russia's defense ministry was handling requests from Ghana concerning missing foreign mercenaries. He said similar requests had been received from other countries and were being reviewed by a special department within the defense ministry. The Soviet Union seized islands from Japan in the final days of World War II. The dispute has prevented the two countries from formally signing a peace treaty. Japan claims the 4 southmost islands, which it calls the Northern Territories. The Russian Foreign Minister also addressed tensions with Japan over the Kuril Islands. Mr. Lavrov said Japan had crossed the bounds of decency by objecting to President Vladimir Putin's visit to the Russian-controlled archipelago. Here's a roundup of international stories courtesy of Africa News.
Russia hosts Ghana's foreign minister in Moscow as Sergei Lavrov meets Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa. The talks focused on trade, Africa's security and ongoing crises across the continent.
We will have an opportunity to discuss today our bilateral relations, trade, economic, educational, humanitarian, but we also would appreciate your assessment of the situation in Africa, especially since some of the crises continue to be there.
And we are seeing an uptick in our trade numbers. We're seeing diversity as well, beyond just traditional exports. We are seeing more strategic investments and your support in our effort to add value to our primary commodities.
Lavrov also agreed to tackle the recruitment of Ghanaians to fight in Ukraine, as Ghana says 62 have been killed and 15 remain missing.
Thousands of people gathered in London's Trafalgar Square on Monday to pay tribute to former Cambridge professor Jason Arday. He was found dead last week, days after resigning from his position following accusations of plagiarism. The vigil was organised by campaign group Stand Up to Racism and titled Stand Against Racist Witch Hunts. The university's youngest black professor when he was appointed in 2023, Arday faced weeks of intense media scrutiny after the allegations emerged. His death has prompted a backlash with accusations that he was subject to a vicious public takedown motivated by racism and hostility to diversity policies at universities and other institutions. Arday's family say he was subjected to a campaign of harassment and sustained abuse ever since he took up the post at Cambridge.
Zambia's President Hakainde Hichilema has won re-election with around 60% of the votes according to the Electoral Commission. The results were widely expected, with Hichilema defeating 13 challengers after a campaign critics called tightly controlled.
I therefore declare Hichilema Hakainde S. to be President-elect. Hello? Can I finish? To be President-elect of the Republic of Zambia this 18th day of August 2026.
Zambia's August 13th election was overshadowed by opposition claims of fraud and an unprecedented nationwide suspension of vote counting. The pause followed attacks on election staff and the theft of marked ballots, while critics warned of shrinking political space ahead of the vote.
And finally, in sports news this evening, Cameroon's women's soccer team won the Women's Africa Cup of Nations on Sunday with a 3-0 victory over tournament debutant Malawi, and were welcomed with scores of fans outside the Yaounde's International Airport on Monday afternoon. At the airport, fans were overcome with joy. The team paraded through Yaounde as men, women and children lined the streets to cheer for them. For the FIFA's under fire president Gianni Infantino attended the game along with CAF president Patrice Motsepe. Infantino later helped Motsepe hand out medals to the top 3 teams. Algeria defeated Morocco in the 3rd place, decided on Saturday. Infantino also posed with Motsepe and Samuel Eto'o the president of the Cameroon Football Federation, for a photo with Cameroon forward Monique after she received the Player of the Tournament trophy. We monitored Africa News.
The indomitable Lionesses are home and Yaoundé is celebrating. A day after making history with a 3-0 victory over Malawi to win Cameroon's first women's AFCON title, the champions received a hero's welcome. As the team landed at Yaoundé's international airport on Monday afternoon, thousands of fans gathered, cheering and celebrating their new African champions. It's a joy beyond words. We have seen these girls as they grew up all the way to what they have become today. We are so happy. We've been watching the games since the first game. We have seen them transform into butterflies. We are so happy, really. Long live the Lionesses. Marie Nanga Manga struck twice on Sunday. Naomi Eto'o added another, and Cameroon finally broke its curse after 3 defeats to Nigeria. This is unprecedented for the girls. It's a first victory. We've never seen this in Cameroon before. We're happy to welcome our Lionesses, our valiant Lionesses, under the leadership of the great president, Samuel Eto'o. We're thrilled by all of this. We're thrilled. We're very happy. FIFA's embattled President Gianni Infantino and CAF chief Patrice Motsepe watched the final before helping present the medals. Algeria had earlier beaten Morocco to claim 3rd place.
And on that triumphant sports item, we come to the end of this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But before we go, a recap of stories that made headlines. HH thanks voters and pledges to continue saving all Zambians. MWANAJITI urges restraint in post-election law enforcement. NRPUP to challenge 2026 election outcome through legal channels. In international news, Russia and Ghana discuss trade and recruitment of citizens for Ukraine war. In sports news, Cameroon women celebrate WAFCON title during victory parade. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of 1 John chapter 4 verse 12. It reads, "No man hath seen God at any time. If we love one another, God dwelleth in us, and that ends the Bible reading, and that concludes this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But dear viewer, like always, be reminded that Camnet TV is not just another channel. Now showing on Topstar channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Kenstream app. Now, on behalf of the entire production team, I'm Tapelo Joe Smarter. Good evening.